My name is Lucia Arden. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. And I want to pray. I want to pray for the hostages. And I want to pray for each hostages. There's a hostage that no one's talked about because we haven't talked about the Russian and Ukraine war like we should have. And to protect our hostages that are in all over the world. But Evan, E-V-A-N, he's been in Russia for a year. A year he's been in Russia as a hostage. I prayed it was a divine command months ago to bring all the hostages back. Again, this was a divine command. So many times that I've asked and heard in prayer that we need to bring the hostages back and use a negotiation. There's beautiful people that know how to do negotiation professionally. They know how to negotiate properly. We need to bring Evan back right away. We have to ask Putin and ask the billionaires that could exchange something with him. You know, we spend so much time on these indictments with President Trump and all these problems that are heresy and treason to our own country, that he is innocent, and also the American people that they secretly, the FBI and CIA, go against. That's another subject I don't want to speak about. This is a holy Thursday, okay? It's a holy Thursday. It's a holy week of Jesus Christ's life on earth, that he came from heaven to give us new life. And we are a Judeo-Christian ethnic nation. And I want to say that, but even if you don't believe, it just happens to be Holy Week where we need to all assess ourselves. And number one, I need to too. We each need to too. And we all have human needs. We all have needs and desires. But I ask you in your desire to help me pray for Evan to come back from Russia, and also all the hostages from all over the world that people have forgotten about. There's so many. There's lists and lists in the hostages, and even the hostages in Hamas is holding, that we need to have an exchange with. The hostages that Israel has are any prisoners right away, I beg you. But if we cannot let out prisoners that are violent, this is the problem. Not unless they put them incarcerate them in jail. We need right away to do this. We need to let all the hostages go from Hamas. And Evan needs to come back from Russia. And many others. And Chauvin, the policeman Chauvin, he needs to have a reassessment of his case. Because Floyd had drug issues, and his whole system was filled with drug, and he had weak organs that didn't process properly. And that's why he died. He had heart fibrillation, and he had a tumor and a disease in his brain. Please, I ask you right away, these are hostages of life. We cannot allow people and others to make hostages of others' lives for certain purposes, for ideologies, political war. This is a war on innocent people. These are war crimes that need to be corrected, and they cannot be stopped. We cannot forget. We need to work day by day, diligently, without stopping. We need to make sure that these hostages are returned. We need to stop the wars and bring negotiation. We need to stop the war in Russia and Ukraine, stop the war in Hamas and Israel. We need to protect our borders. It's a very serious thing. We can't allow the democratic communists to control our lives. It's very serious in the things that are not true. We have to realize all the thousands and thousands of immigrants they want to give citizenship. We have to. That's what Schumer said. Okay, but there was a purpose to bring them over because they want to have the vote, and they're saying that we needed work. We have enough people to put to work. All the new people that graduated, but we need to have jobs, proper jobs, and proper payment. Just like Mexico increased their wage. We need to increase the wage. That's why Mexico is doing well, because he's helping his citizens. That's what we need to. But we cannot stop the violence and stop. We could allow the violence to come in through our fentanyl. We can allow that. We have to come to negotiations with President Lopez that, of course, we can't stop violence with violence, but we could use strategy. He says, don't use violence for violence. He's right. He's a very tender, beautiful man, President Lopez. But on the other hand, we need to make negotiations to stop that fentanyl coming in and find out where all these drug companies are and the drug people. And I just saw the ICE found 200-something people that were related to the drug system, which I'm so grateful. ICE found 240-something people that were related to the drug issue. I'm so grateful. And I've prayed for all these things. I've been working on them to promote this and to guide the people and give them empowerment, even though they know that these things need to be done. I'm their sister. They know. Guide them by empowerment of prayer and guidance of strategy and ideas, and to stimulate them in the empowerment of the Holy Spirit. In the mystery of the miracle of God's love in the hearts and spirit of the workers, whether it's the border control person that needs to protect the borders and start building the wall, or whether it's the policeman that protects our nation and protects our streets and our children. I pray for, and we need to be very, very beautiful and to these people, because we need safety first. Whether it's the FBI agent that needs prayers. There's a lot of stress. I met one before, and he opened up to me and told me it's a very, very stressful. And he says he found a big drug bust, and I happened to see them. It's interesting because I met him right when I wrote my first book, Our Need to Give to the World, Heal America, Love in God. And that's what that lady, the vice president, wants to be the vice president, but she won't. President Trump is getting in. And she said, heal America. I've been saying that for years. That was before 2016. I've been doing this for years and years and years. My name's Lucia Arden. You can see my work, but they take the information. They don't put my name on it. But that's fine. Just like today's the Holy Thursday, and our beautiful Pope told us that it's called gumption. We have to accept what happens and understand we give our love through God's love, but we have to accept and let go of the things that are not, that we're not accepted or respected or get credit for. Or if we want something, it doesn't come, but we still deliver the beauty of what we're supposed to, of justice. And I'm the first one that needs to do that too. So, but what I'm saying is that we cannot have this democratic rule that makes rules and ideologies that doesn't put ethics first, and that they change the laws, they change the Constitution, they change the Declaration of Independence, they change the Bill of Rights, the way they deliver it. They do it in rhetoric, and then they change the laws around in a sense where the way they use the law to make things look like they're right, but they're wrong. And that's what Pope the 10th and 11th talk about. There's three ways that they do war. One is to pit the people against each other. Two, to make a lie a truth and truth a lie. And then three, find out where there's big problems and cause big problems. That's what the Democratic elite have done. They just happen to be Democratic elite. It's not Democrat, it's not Republican. It's bringing freedom and making America great again. And no one's perfect. Not one man is perfect. They had a list of all these things they said that President Trump did. They have to look at themselves. How much more did he do more to help? I'll never forget, and I repeat this all the time, my ethics teacher told me in the famous school that I went to, Pontificia St. Thomas Aquino in Rome. And he told me, the more people try to do good, and if they have to make a big change and a miracle, they're apt more to be more problems that come to the surface, and there's problems. And that's what happened with President Trump. That's what happens to a lot of people that try to change the world for the better. You're going to get backlash, or you're going to have temptation, or you're going to have changes that you don't mean are mistakes, but you keep on going on. But your good is bigger than your mistakes, and that's what President Trump is. His good for the people are bigger than what they're saying that he did wrong. But he didn't do anything immediate things wrong. He's innocent. These immediate things with the indictments, those are all innocent indictments. They're trying to get him on things that he did way in the past. This is very serious. We need to come together in truth. And it's not that I'm putting bias on one person. I'm searching after truth and justice, and I'm trained for that. And I'm trained to look at a situation and see what's the best for the people. That's my specialty. I am actually a politician, but I'm taught like the old popes. When the popes. But I'm a woman, and I'll never be a priest because I'm Catholic, and I'll never be a pope. Maybe I assist the pope by praying for him, but I'll never be that, of course, because I'm a woman. But I want to say that I'm trained like a pope. You can look at all my work and all my writings, and I write about how to solve issues with society that are based by the foundation of truth, and also the Holy Scriptures, and even Catholic teachings. And so we need to come together in truth. But I'm a lay person. I've lived every day in the world, so it's been very difficult. I've made mistakes also. But we need to come together, and I have my own family issues too. My family's not perfect. No one's perfect. So that's I've had a lot of experiences. I'm from a family of 16 brothers and sisters. So I want to tell you, my name's Lucia Arden, and we need to come together. Today's Holy Week. We need to make a miracle. I believe that if everyone prays and does justice and righteousness in what they do, they will hear God's voice, and we could bring a miracle. And I believe some of those elite conservative billionaires and elite communist billionaires, I believe there's going to be some changes. I believe there's going to be changes. I believe that they're going to come to God. I got a message for this. So we need to come together and pray that God brings a miracle to our country, United States, to the world, to stop all the wars. We need to stop the Hamas and Israel war, stop the Russian and Ukraine war. We need to protect our borders, and we need to assess all the immigrants that came in, and we need to find all those sites where they have the fentanyl in, and we need to take all the those fentanyl companies. They need to be obsoleted out, destroyed. And then we need to find all our children. We need to find where are all the children. That's the number one thing. We need to do this right away. My name is Lucia Arden. God bless you. We need to work together. These are holy words. These prayers are words from the many centuries of ancients of time that are alive and living, the prayers of God with his people that reach to the heavens and that are on earth, that God and the Spirit of God is on earth. Not only do our prayers reach to the heavens, but they reach on earth because God of the Spirit of God is on earth. He's right with us and in us and through us. God bless you. God bless you.